Hi, I'm Trish. Today I'm going to talk about the process I went through to get lap banded. I got lap banded in the public system here in Melbourne at the Alfred Hospital. It actually goes way back, even quite apart from the fact that in the public system I don't know what it's like now, but I waited for many years. Probably goes back, I don't know, as early as the early 2000s, I guess. I had a really good GP, and he suggested that I get lap banded, and I was really resistant. And when I was thinking about making this video, I was trying to think of why I was so resistant to getting lap banded, and I don't remember. I don't know where my brain was at back then. Maybe I didn't want to, because then I would have had to have admitted that I really was that fat that I needed surgical intervention. And you know, at that stage I was probably about 150, so I hadn't even peaked out at my highest weight. But I don't know, I wish I could tell you, but I really don't remember. I don't remember where my head was back then. So yeah, that would have gone back to the early 2000s. And then, strangely enough, my main reason for getting lap banded wasn't about losing weight at all. I have a lot of back problems. I've got kyphosis, lordosis, scoliosis. I've got 3 bulging discs. So I have a lot of back pain, and a lot of that back pain is through here, which is right where my bra goes. And since I've had kids, I've had very large boobs. So at my highest weight, I was wearing a 24F. Strangely, as I've lost over 80 kilos and gone from a 24F bra to a 14G. So figure that one out. So I've still got pretty big boobs. Not a lot of volumes, mostly just roll up skin and stuff it in my bra. But yeah, so I've still got that problem. So what I was getting at was back in 2006, I went along to my GP to get a referral to get a breast reduction. And so they sent it off to Frankston Hospital. Frankston Hospital rejected it. So then I asked my GP to send a referral to the Alfred Hospital for me to have a breast reduction. They rejected it as well, saying that my BMI was too high, and of course it was. I don't even know what I was thinking. So then I went away and I stewed on that for a couple of years. And then in 2009, after, my GP kept on saying to me, why don't you get lap banded? And I kept saying, no, I don't want to get lap banded. It's medically sanctioned anorexia and blah, blah, blah. So then in 2009, I finally went to my GP and I said, all right, put me on the waiting list for lap banding. I'll get lap banded, I'll lose weight, I'll get a breast reduction when my BMI is low enough. So they sent off a referral to the Alfred Hospital in 2009, and I received a letter back from the Alfred Hospital to let me know that I'd been put on a waiting list to go onto a waiting list. So, wow, this is going to take a little while. So then I just waited and waited, and then about a year later, so around about 2010, I got a letter from the Alfred Hospital letting me know that I'd been put on the bariatric surgery waiting list. So then I just waited and waited and waited and waited, and finally 2 years later, would have been in May of 2012, and by this stage I'd given up. I was just thinking, I'm never going to get lap banded. They've just put me into that, deep dark place where fat people get put. And if you are a big person, you know that big people get treated differently in the healthcare system, particularly in the public system. It's almost like we don't exist. Yeah, so in May 2012, I got a letter from the Alfred Hospital telling me, or inviting me to an appointment at their bariatric clinic, but in order to get that appointment at the bariatric clinic, I had to jump through a few hoops. So, I'd already been waiting just for an appointment for 3 years. 3 years? Yeah, 2009 to 2012, 3 years. So I got this letter asking me to, or giving me a list of things I needed to do before I could get an appointment. The first thing was that I had to make an appointment with my GP and undergo a clinical assessment to update my current health status. And they sent me a questionnaire for my GP to fill out, which was a bariatric screening assessment tool. So, and I had to then, return that to the Alfred Hospital. I had to complete a questionnaire that related to my medical and my social history. I didn't like that survey. I don't like the assumption that most people make in that all fat people are miserable and have no confidence and no self-esteem. Not all fat people are like that. I wasn't like that. I know a lot of fat people are like that, but I wasn't. So I really didn't like this this questionnaire. It made a lot of assumptions. So anyway, I filled that out because I had to do that. I had to then go to a seminar at the Alfred Hospital, which was all about weight loss surgery and all this sort of stuff. That was a really interesting night. I'm very often resistant to new things like that, and I tend to make assumptions of how I'm going to be treated. But for once in my life, I thought, I'm not going to make any assumptions about this. I'm not going to assume that I'm going to go there and they're just going to treat me like some fat, lazy slob just because everyone else has. I'm going to go with an open mind. And so I went along with a whole bunch of other really big people, some not as big as me, some a lot bigger than me. It was very confronting, but the information night was really, really good. Really, really good. And we weren't treated like fat, lazy slobs. We were treated as people with a medical condition. So they went through all the different kinds of weight loss surgeries. They talked about the sort of people who are able to lose weight and keep the weight off. They answered like a million questions. The surgeons even, they stayed behind at the end of it and just got swamped by people asking like 4 million questions. They were really, really, really great. At that seminar, we were told that we would need to complete a 16-week online course, and once we did that we'd get an appointment in the bariatric clinic, and that once we'd been to that appointment in the bariatric clinic, that we'd have our surgery done about 6 weeks after that. So I wasn't real keen on the 16-week course because I was very arrogant and thought, well, what am I going to learn? I know everything about nutrition. I know everything about losing weight. This is just going to be a big waste of time. But I thought, just for once in your life, just trust the process, go with the program, do everything you're told to do, and see what happens. So I went and I signed up and I did the 16-week course, and it actually it wasn't too bad. I had to do a lot of food diaries and mood diaries and all that sort of thing. And no one likes keeping a food diary. No one likes counting calories. But I did it. I did it all honestly. Sent it off every week. And then, sure enough, before I'd even finished it, I think I was only about 14 weeks in, I got an appointment in the bariatric clinic for the 1st of December, and I was so excited. So I went along to that appointment in the bariatric clinic on the 1st of December, and they, they weighed me, they measured my waist, they measured my blood pressure. I had to go and see someone about doing a research thing about weight loss surgery and this new program that they're doing at the Alfred now. And I was treated so nicely. I saw a surgeon who said that I had been listed as a Category 3 patient and that I would be lap banded, and that I would be waiting around about 6 months. And I thought that was a bit odd because in the seminar they told me from the time I went into the bariatric clinic that it would be about 6 weeks. But I thought, well, what's another 6 months when I've been waiting this long? Yeah, so they treated me so lovely, and they even said because I said, when I went to the seminar actually, someone asked, you know, should we be trying to lose weight before we have surgery? And they said, no, please don't even try to lose weight, because depending on when your surgery is, you're going to lose the weight and then you're going to regain it. We know that it's not really possible for you to do this, so just wait. And that was a bit of a relief actually. I left that seminar and I actually started losing weight. It was a bit weird. I lost quite a bit of weight actually. So the surgeon treated me really, really nicely. He said that I would have to do Optifast for 6 weeks, and that was a bit daunting, and in the end I only had to do it for 2 weeks. But at that stage, back in the December, I think I was probably still about 150, 155 kilos, because I'd already lost about 15, 20 kilos in the previous few months. I'm not sure how that happened. Maybe just that relief of, you know, that pressure being taken off me, that I didn't have to try to lose weight anymore. I don't know. So then I went home, all prepared to wait out my 6 months for my surgery, and then 2 days later I got a call from the hospital. They gave me an appointment to come to the pre-admin clinic on the 21st of January, so that was only about 6 weeks later. She said that I would need to see the surgeon, the pharmacist, the nurse, the dietitian and the anaesthetist, and that if everything went well and I didn't need further testing, you know, like I imagine if I had to see a psychologist, or if I needed a sleep study done or gastroscopy or anything like that, that I would be banded within 2 months of that date. So things were starting to get really, really exciting. So then on the 21st of January I went back to the Alfred to my pre-admin appointment, and I saw, I think, almost every single person in that hospital. I was there for 4 hours. But the time really flew. They were really quite efficient, and yeah, just sort of like moving me through from, you know, like I went and I saw the nurse, I saw the dietitian, the pharmacist, the anaesthetist, the surgeon, I saw the coordinator. They were all really lovely. It was a lovely waiting room. They took my blood pressure, they took bloods, they weighed me, they did an ECG. When I saw the dietitian, she gave me a heap of instructions for the Optifast phase, about liquids and mushies and then soft foods and getting back into it. I even got this fancy Optifast shaker, which I never used. I just went straight into the bin. They gave me admission instructions, but no date. But when I saw the coordinator, she told me to call later that week for a date. So I did. I called up. They said that they could fit me in on the 28th of February. So that was like only, you know, 27 days later, like less than 4 weeks later. And I was just, and all of a sudden I'm just like, oh my God, I've been waiting all this time and now it's all happening, and it's happening too fast. And, you know, the way that the dates worked out, because I had to do the Optifast for 2 weeks, I had to start Optifast on Valentine's Day. That was a lovely day, seeing as my boyfriend had broken up with me only the week before. Actually, no, I don't think he had broken up with me yet. No, he broke up with me while I was doing Optifast. He forgot about me on Valentine's Day. The day before that was my birthday. He forgot that as well. So, yeah, so I had my big, what do they call it? Food funeral, I think. A friend took me out to lunch on my birthday, and I just ate myself silly. My sister took me out earlier in the week for my birthday. I ate myself silly then. Yeah, so from go to O, from the first referral being sent off to be lap banded in 2009 till when I had my surgery was about 4 years. So it was a pretty long wait. But, you know, that's what the public system is like. And, you know, I think it was good because it gave me plenty of time to research it and get my head in the right place for it. I think if I'd been lap banded way back in 2009 or 2010 or whenever, I wouldn't have been ready for it. Back then I still saw the lap band as like some kind of a magic wand. I thought, you know, you just get this thing put in your body and you don't have to do anything. You just keep doing everything that you do now, and somehow miraculously all the weight just melts off. But you know, I had time to do a lot of research and talk to a lot of people who had already been lap banded, and learned that I would need to change my attitudes, my habits, and do some really hard work to make the lap band actually work for me. So yeah, that's how I got lap banded. I'll make another video in the next week or so, whenever, about the Optifast stage, because I know that strikes fear into the hearts of most. But for now, that's all for today.